I can't think of a time that anybody celebrated me.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Public Property with me, Monroe Martin. Today, we got one of my homeboys on, Ryan Beck. This dude has been killing it. He got a special out on YouTube. You've seen him on Comedy Central. He got a short film out in festivals that you need to make sure you go see. All right? We had a really good conversation about getting into a car accident, starting comedy, growing up in St. Louis, and we went toe-to-toe in Street Fighter V. We threw hands. Before we get into the interview, you know what I need you to do. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know if any of my guests are public property, yo. I just can't tell. Like, if you ask me, everybody's family seems perfect. But I need you to be the deciding factor. Make sure you join that Patreon. It's only $5 a month. That's where you get exclusive content, all right? If you can't join the Patreon, then grab some merch, man. I got hoodies, I got t-shirts, I got hats, I got cups. What else you need? You tell me what you like, and we will make sure we have it. All right, enough talking, man. Let's jump into this episode. Yo, what's up, Ryan? Thank you for doing the
Hey,
podcast, man.
yes, thank you, Monroe. This is gonna be fun, I think.
All right. No, I think we're going to have a good time, man. Taking the little bit of time out of your busy life right now. Got a fucking kid.
I know, man. I'm just so tired. I'm so tired, dude. I'm like not like sleepy. I'm like tired, you know?
Yeah. I know what you're
It's
talking
like in my
about, but
bones.
I don't know what you're talking about. I know tired because I'm an adult now, and I'm like, oh, fuck. This is what the fuck grown-ups talk about. They're like, I'm tired. I'm just fucking tired.
Man, at first, like when he was a newborn, it was like, oh, we're not getting a lot of sleep, and that
Mm-hmm.
stinks. But now I'm not getting any sleep, and I'm like athlete tired. Like I'm like my muscles are sore.
Damn.
I'm dragging. I don't know how anybody does this alone. Like honestly, like God bless my wife for real.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
crazy. It's great. I keep saying that, and I
Wait, you
do
said
mean
God
that.
bless your wife? Meaning
God bless
like,
my wife for sure. Yeah,
oh,
like
I
I
thought you
mean,
said life. All right, that's why I was like, wait, what?
no, 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 not like
Oh,
a southern thing or whatever. That's not
oh,
me.
okay.
Um, no, my wife, she does so much, and it's like I don't know how anybody does it alone. Like raise a kid alone is crazy to me.
Dude,
And I keep finding myself saying like something you hear a lot of people with kids say. They go, "Oh no, but it's great though," and it's like I'm not sure who I'm trying to convince anymore. Man, it is
yeah,
great. I love him. I wouldn't trade him for anything, but I definitely would be like, you can borrow him for an extended period of time.
yeah. It's like, yo, if he likes you, all right, cool. Like you do the test, it's like
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
if he
Right.
reaches, then he's
hmm
yours, yo.
I'm just beat. I'm beat.
Well, you don't look
Something's
beat,
got
man. I thought that shit would age you a little bit. Not in like I was betting on
That's
like
just because
betting
I just
against you.
got a haircut. When I
Oh,
don't have a
okay.
haircut, I look like my hair. I got white hair sticking out. I look like when you got to change a toothbrush.
Oh,
Like
that shit
I
just
just
feel
got
like.
white hair sticking out. It's bad. It's bad.
Well, you figuring it out, man. I'm happy to hear you still there, right? Because when
Yeah.
do dads leave? What age do you think it's like? If it's not immediately, when do dads start being like, all right, I think
All
I had
right, this is
enough.
dark. This is pretty dark, but there was just a story about like a guy in Long Island that like killed his wife and son or daughter or something, and the
Yeah,
kid was like 2 years old, which is really horrible.
yeah,
But part of me, watching that story, part of me was like, I wonder what set him off. Like, was
yeah,
it snack time? Was it nap time? Like, what was it? Because this
yeah,
guy's mentally unhinged. That's terrible, obviously. But
yeah.
it's like, part of me was like, okay, I know the stress. I get it. This guy
You're
cracked.
like what do you look out for? You're like, what should I prepare myself for?
Exactly, exactly. I just got to like take everything that I hear from all these dads who can't handle it, and I go, okay, so I got to prepare for myself because I know that going to the zoo is going to be a thing or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's
But I
funny.
don't know. What time do dads leave? I think dads leave when it's hard, and I think it's hardest in the beginning because after
Yeah,
that, it's like you can like play sports with them and they go to school for like half the day at least.
yeah. So, okay, so they gotta like once they're able to interact, where you're like, all right, now you can do the shit that I like, right?
Dude, for real. I
Because
mean,
right
that's
now
been true
they
for
just
me.
in need. It's just survival, right?
Well,
It's
now
just
he
like
can
keeping this
interact
thing
with me a
alive.
little
Yeah,
more. Yeah, now we play like this little basketball hoop I got him. We'll play basketball. Like we can start to do a little more. We'll wrestle. You
yeah.
know,
But
it's
what
fun
about
now.
using the
Earlier,
bathroom? Does he tell you when he needs to use the bathroom, or is it still a guessing game where you gotta like look at his
okay,
eyes
so
and like
we
watch him
started
dance?
to try to potty train him this past weekend,
Yeah,
and then we gave up. And it wasn't because he couldn't handle it. It
yeah,
wasn't because he's not ready. It's because
yeah.
I'm not ready.
Okay,
Because me and my wife, both of us, our necks were hurting because he was naked running around the house, and we were
yeah.
just staring at his little wiener the whole day. For 2.5 days, we're just staring at his little wiener, like
Like,
waiting for him to pee and then moving him over to the potty because you got to catch him right when he does it. You got to catch
yeah.
him right when he does it and go, oh no, it's supposed to go in the potty. And we
Oh
did
my
that,
god.
and he pooped on the potty like 2 times in the little potty chair, and he was crying and screaming and like so scared, and and he would have got it right.
Yeah,
He'll tell us after he does it. He goes, I pooped. And
yeah,
like in his diaper or whatever, he'll be like, I peed, I pooped, and you're like,
yeah,
oh, so he knows like when it happens. But the
yeah,
whole thing was like they go from completely oblivious to, um, you know, I just did it to I'm about to do it. And
yeah,
like, if you can get them to I'm about to do it, then you can catch it.
yeah.
But that's like
And
a hard skill to learn. But it was like, I'm not ready to do this because I need him to be in a diaper so I can go in the other room.
yeah.
Like, I can't be watching this little boy's wiener all day for like 3 weeks. I
What if
can't
you
do
put
that.
him in a crate, like in like just a crated area where you're like, look, like it's a good, decent sized portion of the living room or wherever you need to be, and you just put the potty in there, and then like
Yeah.
even if he pees on the floor, you're like it's still in the area. Like you don't got to worry about
Because
him peeing behind the
what you're
crate.
describing, bro, what you're describing, that's a jail cell. That's a jail cell. So then that little potty's not going to be used for pee and poo. He's going to be making little baby toilet wine. He's going to be, trading his little Uno cards for cigarettes. It's going to be a whole thing.
Dude, like maybe there's a way you can make it not look like jail. Like just box it off. Like you know what I mean?
Get the
Just
nice
like
colored tiles in there. There's a stuffed animal on the top bunk. Little
yeah,
Daniel
right?
Tiger on the top bunk.
I don't know. That sounds like that's definitely a solution I would do, but I'd see it's jail. But I would be
It
like,
is
look,
jail, but
it's gonna
also
have to
he's
be
not gonna.
jail.
He doesn't know he doesn't even know what the potty's for. Like if you just leave
Yeah.
him to it, he just like shoves his toys in it and thinks it's like something to stand
Oh,
on. It's like,
yeah.
nah, you get pee and poo only. They don't know
Mm,
anything.
I
You got to
know.
program them from the jump. They don't know anything.
That's so funny, man.
It's
Yo,
tough, but you know,
you ready to jump into this game?
the answer is no. I'm gonna get my ass kicked, but I'm ready to go.
Dude. So, are you a Street Fighter fan? Like, did you grow up playing this game? You got a brother, right? It's just you
I got a
and
brother. We'd
yeah.
played at the mall. We played at the like on the arcade,
Hmm.
and that was always pretty fun. And I was decent at that, but that's a whole other thing. You got the joystick, you got the little buttons. You're hyped up on soda.
Yeah, you don't think this is better? I think moving this.
This I haven't played this in forever, and I don't
No,
have
I'm talking
anybody.
about this. The like the way you play with a joystick versus an arcade stick.
I like the joystick. I'm partial to the joystick.
Yeah. All right. Let me see. Let me see. I
Who you
haven't
gonna
played with
be?
Dowson. I'm gonna be Dowson. I haven't been Dowson in years.
Oh yeah, the Indian
Yeah.
guy. These are what I like about all these is that they're all like vaguely racist.
Yeah.
It's nice to be. It's like refreshing, you know. Really
Like
brings
his
you back.
weapon is yoga. Like it's nothing
Yeah,
else.
his weapon is yoga. You got
Yeah.
this guy Rashid, who I
Does
don't know. He
desert
looks a little bit
storms.
like a yeah. He's like Arab, but he's also
Yeah.
like maybe a Super Saiyan or something with whatever's on
Yeah.
his eye. I'm going
I
with
don't
Rashid because
No,
I
Rashid's
am
good. He's a
also
good button masher too. He's like a really good choice if you just want to mash buttons.
great. I'm in. Oh, he's got different costumes. Okay, a tracksuit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be an Arab guy in a tracksuit.
All right, wait. How'd you do the costume? Oh, wait.
Left and right, in the back, hit back, and go do your thing.
Oops.
Uh oh,
Uh-oh,
too
my
much.
bad. But we already know what we choosing.
hmm
All right.
When I select them, you can default.
Oh, he got a
There you
tracksuit
go.
too? Everybody got a tracksuit
Of course,
now?
Indian guy's got a tracksuit, same as the Arab guy.
Let's see. All right, so we
Let me point
tracksuiting
out
it
that I
out.
also am Arab. Okay,
All right. Ready?
people don't know I'm Lebanese, Monroe, so I got to
Oh,
be
you're
this
talking
character.
about in actual life. I'm like, wait.
Yeah. What are you
Shit, I
talking
forgot. Look
about?
at this. I'm gonna do the have him out like Cameron. Nah, that one's too. But the pink John looking like an AKA in
He's
tribute
a
to
Laker
Kobe.
girl. Be the
Yeah,
Laker
like it.
girl.
Yeah. Wait, is this a short set? This is a short set.
Yeah, you're a Lakers girl.
Yo, nah. If it was a short set, you could have did the red and white John. I didn't know it was a short set. Yo, so what's it like growing up in St. Louis? What is St. Louis? I've never been to St. Louis. I know
You've never been?
never been to St. Louis. I know the Arches,
There's
St.
one. It's
Lunatics.
arches. Two arches or McDonald's. There's just one arch.
Oh shit, my bad. I thought it was like an arch on the other end of the park.
No,
um,
no, no.
Cedric the
Um,
Entertainer.
yeah.
What else? And
What else?
if I'm not
Nelly. You know the
mistaken,
Cardinals.
Nelly.
Baseball's
Yeah.
big.
No, besides the sports
I
teams,
have
I'm
not
talking
landed
about
a
like,
punch.
whoa, 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 get out of here, get out of here. Did you grow up in the city? You grew up in the suburbs, the country?
At my first couple of years, we were in the city proper, and then we moved out to the suburbs. And the thing about St. Louis is that most of it's suburbs. You hear
Okay.
about things on the news about like the murder rate in St. Louis is so high. St. Louis is broken up into 99 different little cities, 99 different
Uh-huh.
municipalities, and they don't count that area because all of them have their own statistics, all of them have their own police department, all
Yeah.
of them have their like own uh, their school districts and everything. It's all segregated, it's all separate, and that's just the way it is, and that's what makes it kind of a weird place to grow up. It's everything's really pleasant and a little bit
Hmm.
like Pleasantville kind of vibes.
Yeah.
um, and nobody really leaves their little area. There's 99 different little cities that make up the metropolitan area. Oh boy, I got rocked.
Yeah, but
So
you was working it. So you grew up in the suburbs.
I grew up in the suburbs. It was a really, my parents did a great job, and this is what I'm trying to do for my son now, is they did a great job keeping any like troubles, struggles, money problems, stress away from
Hmm.
us.
Yeah.
And um, I think that's like really like the recipe for having a good childhood is to
Hmm.
just not know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And I didn't know any of it. Like I knew that we weren't doing that well. We did
Yeah.
fine, but we weren't like doing as well as some of the other kids. Like you go to somebody else's house and you see their snacks and you're like, oh, my
Yeah.
parents, um, they're
So
not doing this.
you live in the suburb you lived in. It was a middle class suburb or upper middle, lower middle?
Uh, Probably lower middle. I think the house cost like 89 or $90,000 in like 1992 or three.
Mm-hmm.
It's a ranch house. There's
Yeah.
two bedrooms, and then or no, three bedrooms.
Okay.
Um,
What was the
So
neighborhood? What was like your? Oh, go ahead. You have more to say.
no, that's it. I don't know
So
how to
was
stop
it
people
like
getting killed.
Was it like
How do I block?
I don't know. That's why I'm just throwing these hands.
I mean, your hands go across the whole screen. This is
That's what I'm
wild.
saying. That's why I'm like, fuck it. Like every punch, I'm like trying to stay on you. All right, fuck.
I'm gonna get one of these.
Nah, dog. 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 Nah, dog.
Come on!
Oh
Oh, I
shit!
did it! I got one. I got one.
Damn. What was like
Let's go.
the what was like it? I said what was like it.
What was
So
like
your
it?
block. So what was it like on your block?
There wasn't that many kids in the neighborhood, so I knew everybody, and they were all around my same age. There's a lot of old people in the neighborhood. It was like a big hill, and so we just would like ride bikes down this big hill, and you know, there was a lot of that. We'd go adventure in the creek. There's like backed up
With
to a
other
creek in the
kids or
woods.
with your brother by
Yeah,
yourself?
with my brother wasn't very outdoorsy in that way. I would be climbing trees and like running through the creek and stuff.
Okay.
But as soon as we got a computer, it was like a lot of like doing stuff online. I learned how to try to build websites, and we played a lot of baseball. It was good. I had a good childhood. I have no complaints.
Oh, we gonna
Adulthood, I
find
have some
some
complaints.
complaints. Oh, we gonna find some complaints, Mr. Beck.
I'll tell you, you know what my big complaint is, and this is Midwest living right here. My
Was
biggest complaint is that everything is always fine,
yeah.
no matter the situation, no matter how bad something is or how good something is, it's always fine. You just have a stasis
And
of it's fine.
is that because people bottle things up
Yeah,
and they don't want to share? So it's like, all right, it's fine, it's fine,
it's
it's fine.
that everything is muted. Everything is
Yeah.
muted. Emotions are muted. Like it's like this is why I loved going to see my in the St. Louis. I would love to go see my Lebanese side of my family because everyone was big and loud and said exactly what's on their mind, and it was really
Yeah.
refreshing. It's like if you ever seen like My Big Fat Greek Wedding or like any Italians interact, it's like the same
Mm.
Mediterranean thing. Like the Lebanese family was the same way, and I loved seeing them because everybody just talked. And
Mm.
the white side of the family and a little bit of how I was raised, my dad being in the military and my mom, they worked a ton of hours and we were
Yeah.
on our own for a lot of the time.
You and your brother?
And yeah, and my sister too.
And your sister, okay.
My sister was adopted when I was 10. And so she was 11 and my brother was 12.
Okay.
And I'm going to be the thespian. Here we go. This
Vega.
guy with the mask.
Yo, Vega get it
Another
in. I don't
tracksuit.
know. Yeah. Wait, where's the tracksuit at?
It's on the end. Are you wearing your tracksuit?
I'm wearing the tracksuit. I'm saying, yeah, no,
Why
I
are they
said
all in
you.
tracksuits?
I don't know. I just feel like it's a fly look that I never
I
really
guess
got to
so.
use before. You don't think tracksuits are cool?
I do. I mean, I can't afford them. I've been looking. I've been like, it can't be that much money. They're like
Nah, it ain't
just the
about price.
pants are like $100.
It's about a good tracksuit, good quality.
The
They
issue
don't,
is, it
yeah.
looks really cool the one day that you wear it, but you can't be wearing it the next day because people will be like, "Oh, you had the tracksuit on last time I saw you." It's like,
Oh,
how
so you
often can
like
you wear the
wearing?
tracksuit?
Oh, so that's how you shop?
I mean, when you're in this currently, yeah.
Mm. So let me ask you a question. So you said the white side and the Lebanese side. So your
Yeah,
mom is first generation Lebanese? I
she was
mean,
born
first
in
generation
Beirut.
and um, yeah, you know
My
what I
mom was
mean.
born in Beirut and adopted as a baby over here, two Lebanese people.
Oh,
So, does that make sense?
yes.
Yeah. And same with my uncle.
Okay.
And then so I got all these cousins and second cousins and stuff that I'm
Oh,
not.
you got
All
that
right,
W.
this is my guy right here.
Yeah.
Um, I killed you with the power of dramatics. So yeah, I got a lot of cousins and you know, big family. It's great. I love having
And
a big family.
but they lived. So what made them different? I'm trying to figure out what made your family and your upbringing like everything's fine, but then the Lebanese upbringing was like, yo, we're gonna say it the way we say it. Like,
Well,
why'd you move so far apart from them?
we moved to St. Charles in the early 90s
We
because you
running
just
that
kicked
back.
your ass. Look at
That's
that.
why like we running you back. We running that back. I will not
Um,
take this L lying down, sir.
um, we moved because it was like a good school district. It was like, considered safe out there. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like very suburban and very like the place that they wanted to raise. And then, like the county and everything else was like, it's just a little bit more people, a little bit busier situation. And so my folks wanted to get out of there. They're still like that now.
Mm.
Um, so, I don't know that it was like that my family was so much different, but it was like the big family gatherings were always tons of food, loud, exciting, something gossipy,
Mm-hmm.
fun stuff.
Yeah.
And that fades as people get older, people die, people move away. Like that stuff changes.
Yeah. So you grew up with the white side of your family, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean,
What was the
that's not
besides
entirely
that?
true.
Well,
No, it was
oh,
like a decently even split. But I
okay.
mean, the way that we were raised, it was like just a little bit more conservative.
Mm.
It's not that I can't talk to my folks. I'm not going to dump on my parents. It's just that they're far more reserved and I wouldn't say withholding. Everybody says that they love each other and, I'm proud of you, all that stuff. That's not in short supply.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like that. It just was like nothing was ever like too exciting because it always was met with like, yeah, but what if it goes bad?
Mm. You want to
So
run that
everything was
back
just always,
to break the tie?
let's do it. Let's do
All
it.
right. So everything was just like, oh, it'll be okay, or don't
Yeah,
shoot too
it's gonna
high
be
and don't
fine,
shoot
or
too
like don't
low.
ride too. Yeah, but it was just like the big value is like hard work hard, and everything will put itself into place. Which obviously, as you know from this comedy life, is not always it's not always a meritocracy.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of luck. There's a lot of like, uh, oh, what did I just do?
I don't know, but you ain't about to do it again. You're about to do it again, baby.
I'm trying to grab you.
Nah, not no more. Oh shit!
Oh, punch a lady right in the gut.
Punch it right in the sternum, just like yeah, yeah,
Man,
yeah.
it's hard to try to like talk about it while you're just like cramming buttons to
That's the
kill
best
each other.
part, man. That's the
But
best part. Boom, boom.
oh,
So, did other kids on your block know you were Lebanese?
I don't think so. No, I don't think it really mattered too much until like 9/11, and that 9/11, then it was like because I look this way. My brother looks way darker, a big black beard. You met him, right?
Yeah,
Um, he, especially in the summertime, like he's got the olive skin, he's got dark brown eyes, like he has this big, wiry beard when he grows it out,
yeah.
and
Damn.
oh, from behind win. This, yes, sir. And so it was a much bigger deal after 9/11. My grandma was like, "Oh, don't, Josh, don't, be careful and all this kind of stuff." And then be like, "Hey, Ryan," you know. So it was never a thing. It was never a thing for me.
Like, what's up, Ryan? We gonna beat your terrorist ass brother up after school. you're, like, you're like, he's not a
I mean, it
terrorist.
was
He's my
like,
brother.
yeah, but also by that point, it's like, my brother's I don't know what he was, 15 or something like that. And so
Mhm.
it was like, uh, everybody knew him, and it was no issues like that. There was no
Oh,
issues like
okay.
that. I think it would be a little bit different um, for other kids, maybe people who really do appear like much darker.
Yeah,
But yeah, man.
that's so
Let me
funny.
see. Who am I gonna try? The classic M Bison bad
I'm
guy. Who am I
doing
getting my ass kicked?
Alex first. I'm gonna work this whole left side first.
All right.
Everybody doing the tracksuit. Actually, no. Let me see something. What's this one? Nah.
Gotta pick your right colors, Monroe.
No, you have to, man. All right, there we go. Let's go. Wait, what's happening?
You can't be that one, I guess. I don't
I
know.
guess. Oh man, that sucks.
There you go. Default. Get your ass kicked in the default outfit.
Sorry, I gotta. There we go. Clicking it. Could you hear that? Could you hear that dingy?
Nope.
All right, cool. All right, and I'm ready for you. So,
Let's do it.
do you remember? So, what was like? You never got any? Did you? I said I don't want to phrase it. Say, have you? You've never gotten in any fights as a kid, but like since there was a lot of like hanging out in the woods and stuff like
There was
that.
fights.
Yeah, that's all. There were fights on your block.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Fights. Meet me here. Let's fight about this. There's some kids that just want to punch things because their dad beats up on them or whatever. Oh, you know what? I 100% was playing thinking I was your character, and I was like, I'm doing good.
Oh shit! Well, yeah. How many have you gotten in any fights?
Yeah, I got in a few fights. I don't even remember what they were about, but I didn't
Kid
fare
shit.
so well. Kid shit. Like I'm pretty tough, I'm like I can definitely take the pain and continue to go. It's that hard work, nose to the grind, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But like I don't pack especially as a kid, like I'm not packing a huge punch, you know what I mean? But I was
Was it?
angry. I was very angry as a kid, and I was like, not afraid to scrap.
Did you start fights?
I was a little I could be a little jerk, but I never really like was like, let's fight.
Oh, you would just like pick on and say shit.
Yeah, I'm like a little antagonist. I got whooped.
Yeah, dog.
But I think that's like being a smartass and just cracking jokes and whatever else. It's like some people have a line, I
Yeah,
know, like you and I know each other well enough. We don't really have a line. You could say whatever
yeah,
to me, and then it's gonna keep going, and we're gonna have a good time, and it's all fine. But
yeah,
people hold things preciously. That's not really me.
yeah. When did you discover your humor? When you could start really like
Uh,
digging into people? Where you go, oh, I gotta beat you up. Fuck fighting. I can just take digs at you and insult you. Where did that come from?
well, really, I would say like second, third grade, I really had like a knack where I was like, oh, I'm like making the teacher laugh.
Mm.
Like, I think I'm being funny. And I always felt,
Okay,
there you go.
there you
Um,
go.
I always felt pretty funny. And I
Mhm.
remember I would like write down little things that I thought were funny to bring up and say. And this is like third, fourth grade. Uh, and my teachers were always really encouraging. I had some time after class for a long time
Mhm.
um, where, at the end of the day, they'd be like, you can come up and talk. So that was cool.
Really, that's cool. And what would you talk about?
Just like different stuff around the school or like sports and things like that, and just like being like, it was just being funny, but like little kid funny.
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
but I would like try to think of something that I would do some preparation for my little moment whenever I'd get to do it. It wasn't like,
So, what age
uh,
was this?
oh, what happened? What happened? What do you see?
Nothing. Oh, you're not moving. Oh, you
Oh
left
no,
you left.
my connection dropped.
Oh, wow.
Devastating, devastating. How do I get back in?
All right, hold on. It says you're still there, so it's just a connection thing. You
All
just
right.
gotta wait until your connection is back on. Connection there?
I don't know. It says it's
All right,
lost.
ready?
Yeah,
You see anything on your
yeah,
screen?
yeah. I'm joining again. Here we go. Man, oh man. But I started doing stand up in high school.
I can't hear you. You see anything pop up on your screen?
Yeah, I'm joining.
Okay, cool. All right. What was you saying?
Well, you're asking about when I found out that I was funny, and it's like I feel like I found that out early on, and it was just like trying to figure out how. And in some respects, I'm still trying to do it. Is like how do I? What's the best way to share this? What's the best way
Mm.
to make this be the thing? Because it was always the thing for me.
So what age, you and I share that both in common too, when your teacher let you kind of take center stage. What grade was that up until? For me, I experienced that more in like ninth and 10th grade where the teachers were like, oh, he's kind of funny when he's loud and all this shit, but he's kind of funny. So some of the cooler teachers would start reserving the end of the class for the kids who wanted to snap on each other or make fun of
Yeah,
shit or be a little conversational.
that was like second, third grade. I was able to do that. I think things got a little bit more serious,
Mm-hmm.
and oh, here we go. I see that when I stopped moving, you didn't take that as a maybe I should not kill him.
Fuck that. I get the dummy.
Uh, but in high school and stuff, it wasn't like they were like, "Hey, Ryan, come talk to the class," and it wasn't like that.
Oh.
In high school is when I started doing stand up. I was 17.
And you would go to comedy clubs or you would go
Yeah, there was a comedy club in St. Charles, Missouri, and there was a comedy club in St. Louis, Missouri, which obviously it's all very close. It's all the same deal. And I would go to both of those, and they knew I was in high school, but nobody knew that I was not 18 yet.
Yeah. You did select a
So
new character or play again?
I don't want to be this guy.
All right.
I mean that about myself. Um, no, yeah. So that's when I started. I was like,
And your parents were fine with you just starting comedy and going to do comedy at night as a high schooler? Like you were just able to go to a comedy club, be
they
around
knew, and I was
alcohol.
always back by like 10, and they didn't really care. And my parents are pretty chill in that they pretty much, I think they viewed this as like a phase, and so
Mm,
they're like, he'll figure it out, you know.
yeah.
Um, and of course, it is not.
Let me ask you this. So your parents gave you a lot of freedom, it sounds like. Trying to see how far this
Somewhat.
freedom was. So I feel like to let you go out, like what age? You said 17. 17
Hmm.
to go out to a comedy club around drugs and alcohol. And how far was it away from your house?
It's like 10 minutes, and the other one was like 20 minutes.
I think that takes a lot of trust.
Yeah, I mean, I was a good kid. Like there was a lot of trust, and I paid for my own car. I had a summer job. I worked on everything. Like, I had a lot of trust and faith from my folks. They were always really wary about drinking and anything like that, and so but my dad, for being like a pretty conservative guy, like is
Mm-hmm.
very encouraging of his kids and his family, and is like trust. He's very trusting. And so we just
Mm.
didn't, as the kids are like, we just like, okay, don't break that. And don't break the trust and don't be an asshole. And,
Did
you
you
know,
did you know the things that would break your parents' trust? So you never lied. You never lied to your parents to break their trust, or
no, I tried not to
yeah,
lie. I don't think there was ever really a big lie. I think my sister got caught going somewhere that she wasn't supposed to and saying that she was somewhere else.
yeah,
Um, and, that's the kind of shit that would be like, well, then you can't leave. But you come up,
yeah,
if you're upfront with us, um, then it should be okay. That only backfired on me one time, telling the truth, because this
yeah.
girl
It
came
was.
over and she wanted to hang out, and I was like, okay, but I got to call my mom and let her know that a girl came over, or girls once that a girl has come over and nobody's home, and she's
Yeah.
like, that can't happen,
Oh,
and
and
I
she
was
was
like,
already there.
damn,
Yeah.
and yeah, she was already here, she was
Yeah.
already there, and so like, um, we hung out for a bit, but it was just like, okay, you're gonna have to go. I'm sorry.
Mm. Damn.
And looking back on it, I was like, oh, I probably could have got laid.
Yeah. Oh, you
Um,
wasn't even thinking about getting laid?
no, I absolutely was, but I didn't want to get in trouble because I knew that like one, I didn't know when they were going to come home or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's all, I was thinking 3 steps ahead, and all of the possibilities were filled with anxiety and bad end
Man.
results, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Okay.
another thing. Very anxious household. Very, nobody addresses mental health. Nobody addresses uh, anxiety. Nobody depression. Nothing like that. It's just a classic Midwest thing. I mean, you saw my movie, right?
No, you didn't send it to me.
I'll send it to you after this. But
Okay.
it's all about that. It's all about those feelings that you have in the Midwest where everything's suppressed, everything is muted, and people don't really talk about what's on their mind. And it's kind of just like, that's just the way it is, and don't worry about it. Everything's fine.
Mm.
This guy's pretty good. This big Mohawk dude.
I know. That's what I'm trying to get. I didn't know he moves that fast. Like he gets around and he got projectiles, and I don't know how to use my shit.
How about that?
That was
Oh,
good.
baby.
So, were you allowed to call your parents by their first name?
Absolutely not.
No, not at all.
No.
Have you tried it?
No. No. I mean, maybe in in jest, but it was never like, let me give this a shot. That wasn't gonna fly. My dad retired as a full colonel in the Air National Guard. Like, you don't no respect, like keeping the house straight, manners. These are all big time values in the Beck
Mm.
household.
And if you broke those, if you went against those things, like if you didn't have some manners, or if you did call your parents by their first name, would they beat you? Would they punish you? Like, what was the consequence for crossing
There's
the
no
line with your
beating.
parents?
There's nothing like that. There's no beating. Look how close this one was.
I know. I don't like it though.
The one that I won. How
We
close
gotta
it
run
was.
it back. I know.
This guy
We
eats a
gotta
big
run it
donut
back.
at the end. No, my parents we got spanked a little bit as a kid, but it was never
Mhm.
like you get the switch. I'm gonna beat you. It wasn't anything like that.
What was the form
They're
of
good.
discipline? Because you mentioned
It was
that your
mostly
dad was
fear.
the military. Oh, he didn't make you do push-ups or hold the
No,
wall or none of that?
nothing like that. No, he's a really loving guy. I think it was mostly like the military is like a job for him.
Mm.
It has good values, and it had like, um, you know, oh, what happened?
Yeah, motherfucker. That's what happened. That's what happened. Got to get this ratio back. Ah,
My guy,
ah,
I
ah.
turned myself red, and it didn't do anything.
No, because I'm supposed to stay away from you. Because I think you turn yourself red, so if I go near you, that I'll start getting hurt because you're hot.
Well, you punched me to death while I was red. But
I know. I kept throwing the whatchamacallit. I did this.
ah,
Boom, baby. What stopped you from joining the military?
I've looked into it. I would like to do it. Still today, I think it would be great to be a reservist because,
Mm,
but at the time, what stopped me is a great question. What stopped me out of high school? What stopped me in college? In
mm,
high school, I didn't want to go to Iraq. I thought it was
mm,
wrong, and I thought it was stupid. I was like, "There's no. This isn't even where they're like saying that." Like it was like at the time where it's like 2006. It's not the height
mm-hmm.
of things. We have enough information where it'd be like, something's going on here. Not everybody's telling the truth.
Yeah.
And oh gosh.
Wah, 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 wah,
So
wah.
right then, in 2006, I knew I didn't want to do that. Right.
Okay.
I wanted to go to college. I didn't want to be left out. I didn't want to
Mm,
miss out on anything. Um, and the idea of having like this big commitment that could take me away, I was like, I want to go to school.
mm,
And I like this comedy thing. I want to keep doing this. And then in college and after college, it was kind of the same thing. There was never like a right moment where I felt like, I should do this because there was
mm,
always something else that I wanted to do. When I did my internship in New York in my junior year of college, I was interning at the Daily Show. And then I was like, I love the city. I love doing comedy. I
mm,
love this TV production thing. I want to come back and I want to do more of that. So I finished up my degree and then I moved right back. That really didn't, my parents were very like, okay, if that's what you want
mm,
to do. Um, and they're always really supportive. They don't have tons of money. Now they're doing fine.
mm-hmm.
Um, but at the time, like all growing up, it's like they didn't have a ton of money and whatever else. And so like anything that I the way I was able to move to New York is because like a year prior, I got into a car accident where I almost died, and I got a
Mm,
big insurance settlement that was like, I say big, it was like $12,000 or something,
yeah. I
and so
mean,
that
that's
was enough.
big. At what age was that?
It's yeah, it's big at 19, or no, what would I
Man,
be? I turned 21, 22. It was big at 22 to get started in the city.
yeah,
It was
that's
a, it
big.
was it was enough money for me to like have during pay for rent during my internship because that was back when interns were unpaid,
Hmm.
and then it was enough to move back, and I got a job after that.
Yeah.
So it was enough to figure all that stuff out and get the flights and do all those things. And by, you know, 3 months in New York, like doing all of that, everything was gone.
Three
Because I had
months? You
paid.
spent that shit in three
No,
months?
no, no. What I'm saying is 6 months of rent when I was interning, and
Hmm.
then moving back, finding a place, getting. Um, these are flights all the way. This is like
Yeah.
paying for your food, all that stuff. By like three,
Yeah.
4 months in, I had another job and everything. But like anything left over from the car accident stuff was
Yeah.
put away and it was gone. So, you know, I've always had to work since I've been here. But the only reason I could move is because I got hit by that, like I was in a car accident. So,
What happened? Would you mind talking about the car accident? What happened?
yeah, I was driving around. You know the comedian Doug Benson?
Yeah. Wait, can
Okay,
you
so this,
you wanna before we get into it, you wanna select your character or play again?
yeah, yeah, let's change this character.
All right. Okay.
Um,
Doug
I
Benson.
was working at the comedy club in Columbia, Missouri, and I was like the MC. And so I
Hmm.
had to drive him to the radio station. I'm driving this guy to the radio station one morning. It's icy, it's snowy, it's a 2 lane highway. And then there's like the grass in the middle and 2 lanes going the southbound way.
Hmm.
And I missed the exit on the radio. It's like 6 in the morning, and I'm like really tired, and you know I messed up, and so
Hmm.
I got to turn around, and I'm in like the little turnaround lane in between like the grassy stuff, the grassy area, and it's like February or something, and it's really cold outside, and that very moment, my clutch dropped out. I had a manual transmission, this Toyota Camry, and the clutch like wouldn't let me move. Like the clutch dropped, it broke. Okay, like we would have been
Yeah.
stranded there. If I didn't get hit by this car, like we, it would be a different story. Um, and so I couldn't pull out, and I was like, oh shit, because my foot's going to the floor, and I'm like, this sucks. And as soon as I noticed that,
Uh-huh.
bam, got hit by a car just on my door. The Toyota Camry like crumples around me. The way
Hmm.
that this car hit, it like went into this like ditch, and then it was a Ford Taurus, and like jumped out because the guy was going so fast and lost
Hmm.
control.
Hmm.
And the car like hit me to where the door crumpled in over my hip, because if
Yeah.
he hit me straight on and didn't like hit this ramp, like this
Yeah.
gully, it probably would have just taken my legs right out, or like you know, I might not be here. It was like bad. But all I walked, what I was able to, they pulled me out. I'd broken my neck in a rugby injury like a few 6 months earlier or something like that. So like, you know, they like were careful with me. Not broken my neck, but like a vertebrae in my neck from tackling. And
Hmm.
so you know, they pull me out and they put me in the ambulance, and I'm like making jokes the whole way. I broke my jaw, but just in one spot. Usually, when you break your jaw, break it in two spots. And the
Hmm.
way that my head hit the car, or the like, as the impact, it split my jaw just in the front. So I have a metal plate right here, and I don't have any
Wow.
feeling. There's no nerves in here anymore. They're all dead. Um, and so I got this middle plate like binding my jaw. Uh, and but I was like still talking and talking shit and making jokes the whole way to the ambulance. So much so that my mom, when she was at the hospital, overheard paramedics talking to each other about how annoying the guy that they took to the hospital was. And she's like, "That's my son. Oh, that's crazy. Is he okay?" And they're like, "Yeah, he's gonna be fine. He's just was like really bugging us and asking us a ton of questions." Um,
That's
and he
so
wouldn't stop
funny.
making jokes. And they're like, please just stop talking. You're bleeding from your mouth. You know, I had emergency surgery, and it was wild.
Damn. I'm
Yeah,
glad you're here though, man.
yeah, me too. I mean, it's great. You know, love that.
God damn. We both broke our faces. That's
Yeah,
cool.
you're
Fucking
much more recent than mine.
yeah, man. But
I
was
was
there a
scared
point?
when you got
Yeah,
hurt.
that's
I was really worried about you when you got hurt.
Oh shit, I appreciate it, man. I'm back, baby.
I know. I mean, we talked at the time, but I was like,
Yeah.
okay, here. Wait, who are you?
I am Cammy.
Where's Cammy? Can I not be the same person as you?
Wait, you want to be the same person as me? You're Ryu right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the same person as you. We're gonna see how this goes.
Okay. All right. I don't know shit about Cammy, but
Me
we're gonna
neither.
figure it
Here we
out. We're
go.
gonna figure it out, baby. So,
Well, I'm glad you're all
what was
right. I'm
that
glad I'm all right
process?
too.
What was that process like? Bouncing
The
back
breaking.
at such a young age and like getting back into comedy and still pursuing something. Like, where did that drive and energy come from? Especially if you grew up in the Midwest, which is like everybody's like, all right, what's your backup plan? Like, what stopped you from being like, well, I got seriously hurt in pursuit of my dream. Maybe I should sit down and focus on my backup plan. What made you go,
I never
fuck
had a
it?
backup. I never had a backup plan. I've always been
Mm,
stubborn. I've always been driven. You know me. I've always
hmm
acted this way. And I
Yeah.
think that it comes from like a deep need to be seen, to feel like I
hmm
matter, to feel like I'm doing something important. All this stuff is what keeps me going and keeps me driving. Is that I don't feel like I'm enough, and I want to, but I also feel like you watch somebody else or this or that, and I don't ever like to compare myself to other people. But like the
hmm
best way to start comedy for real, if you're curious, if people listen and be like, I think I'd like to try comedy. It's like go to an open mic and watch, and you're gonna be like, I
Yeah.
could do that.
Yeah.
So it's just something where I'm like, I know what I do is of value, and I want to share it, and um, I've just always felt really driven to make this work and to do what I want. Um, and also, I really enjoy it. Like I
hmm
really like writing my scripts and making videos, and I made the movie that I made, and I want to keep doing that. Okay,
Yeah.
Cammy won, so that's my plan. Um, But yeah, man, I just don't. It's the hard work thing that was instilled from the beginning, and it's like I'm not going to give up. And anytime comedy gets harder, I just dig my heels in more and more.
Man.
And for better or for worse, it's interesting being 35 and thinking about what I wanted at 25, and
Yeah.
I'm like, do I want the same things? And a lot of ways, it's no. But there's still so many things that I do want, and I'm just trying to figure out the best way to get them at this point.
Ooh.
Um, and it's tough. Things have been
Yeah.
tough, especially the last 2 years, and with having this kid now. And it's not his fault. I did all this to myself. It's just that time, money, everything's more stressful. Look, we both did the same,
I
same
know.
first move. So,
What's your way of coping? Not coping, but what is your way of dealing with it? Is
dealing
it
with
just
stress and
just dealing with
rejection and all
stress
this.
and yeah, like the ups and downs, and also the the
I wouldn't be
responsibility
lost.
that comes with with being a father and a husband? Like, what stops you
Yeah, I
from
mean,
being like,
I want to. In a lot of
okay,
ways, I never thought, oh, this might not work out for me. I never
yeah,
thought, um, like that I wanted to quit or anything. I forgot which Cammy I was for a second.
nah, you didn't
Um,
forget. You didn't forget.
ah, um, until this year, I didn't have any negative thoughts like that until like the last 2 years for sure.
Okay,
And so now I'm starting to be like, okay, how can I deal with this? And it's like I need to figure out what I can take care of for my family and
you want to run
continue
that
this
back?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that again. Um, and it's just what keeps you going. It's like I can't stop
Yeah.
because I can readjust. I can like try to be patient with myself and whatever else. But it's like I see my direct peers doing things that I would like to do, and I'm like, okay, how do I get there? Because I
Yeah.
know it's within me, and I trust myself. And this is the thing that I've really had to come like dig deep and figure out. And it's not easy. It's a lot easier said than done.
hmm
Um, but one thing is like when things are tough and you find that there's no security in your life in a lot of ways, it's like,
hmm
oh, my job's not secure, my health's not secure, my spots aren't secure. My calendar, nothing feels secure. My housing situation, nothing. Wow, you really came back to kick my ass. The one thing that I can do, right, and that everybody can do, is that they can give themselves that security. So you look at like the adversity that you've dealt with before, and you go, all right, well, if I could do that, then I can get through this. Or this is problem sucks, but I've done this before. Like, if I don't get a spot at a club that I want, I'll go, well, I didn't have that spot at one point in time. Or there's been a moment where I didn't have that spot, and I went and I hung out, and I talked to these people, and I did this, and I'll just figure out a way to get back on the stage. And there's been a lot of that. But adversity and facing adversity is like exactly where you get all your character, you know? Like right now, I'm getting destroyed in this video game. But you know what we're going to do?
I gotta destroy.
We're going to be like, I'm going to be like, okay, but I also have lost a lot of these other matches, which is why I know that next time we play, there is a chance I might win.
Did you grow up in a religious household?
It was a thing, but it wasn't a big thing. My parents are way more into it now. We were Catholic. We went to Catholic church, but the Catholic church was pretty far away. It was like 45 minutes to get there. And then we start playing sports and we start doing all this other kind of stuff. There's my brother, my sister, me. Everybody's, you know, the calendar fills up. And, you know, it was a thing where it's like, I'm going to be Laura, this hot chick.
Laura.
You know, religion was important, but it was never like,
what was the change?
We have to get there every single time. For them, people.
Yeah, because you mentioned
purpose,
two changes.
They needed something.
Oh, sorry.
You know, I think that's what it was. I think it was that they were getting older and they're getting scared. And they want to know what to do, and they need some like sense of community and everything else. And the kids have all moved out and stuff. So, who's
the youngest again?
I'm the youngest.
Okay, because you mentioned that so basically life got better for your parents like later on.
Yeah.
And
that's when my dad started to get promotions, and like my mom had a steady job and whatever else. And so also as kids get older, I think their expenses go down a little bit.
Were your parents young?
Yeah, they were young. They're still only 61 or 2, something like that. But that's how
Midwest is. Flies
right away. That's just his shirt. His shirt just taking you for a ride. Oh, congrats, dude! You beat up a woman. How's that feel?
It feels great.
How's that feel, dude? Does that make you feel like a big man? Wow.
Yeah, and especially that he's slapping her with sleeves, so it doesn't even count.
This is like fighting Rick James. You look like a Steven Seagal with like an eating disorder.
Yeah, right. Emaciated Steven Seagal. Just yeah. Whoa! Look at that move, baby! Look at that! Say something. Say something.
So what's the
Did you ever have a birthday?
Do you think I should have been in foster care?
Oh, I wasn't done yet.
Okay. Hit me. Continue gathering your evidence, please.
Yeah, man. What was so your parents were young. Did you spend a lot of time with your grandparents?
Yeah, I would say so.
How much?
At least maybe every weekend or every other weekend.
Like the entire weekend? Or just
I mean, sometimes we'd go over there quite a bit, or they'd come over to us or something like that. But everything, like, you know, as you get older, like when you enter high school and stuff, those kinds of things change. But when we were young,
not for everybody. That's what I was trying to say. I'm like, not for everybody. Some people.
Well, that's like we had a lot of activities, a lot of extracurricular activities, a lot of sports, a lot of like clubs and stuff. My parents never was like latchkey kids where they like didn't pick us up at a certain time. We'd ride the bus home and we'd just be left on our own devices. There was a lot of trust, right? And there's like food's in the crock pot. Figure it out. Don't kill yourself.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there was always just the calendar was always full. That's like a big way that my parents would cope with fear, worry. They still do that. They just fill up the calendar as much as you can, and then like, oh, we're too busy to be stressed. We're too busy to be worried. We're too busy to um, talk about this or that or whatever else. And
Mm,
that's the Midwest, I think, in a lot of ways.
I understand that way of thinking, though.
Yeah,
Because that's what it's like for a lot of people, especially growing up in the hood. It was just like, yo, stay busy, because if you stay busy, then you don't really have any time to be depressed and be
can't
sad.
get in trouble.
Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah.
yo, fucking stay with it.
I mean, that's a big time way of thinking, especially for like kids in like out here in Brooklyn or whatever else. They just like have as many after school programs, have as many things to do and all this kind of
Hmm.
stuff. And then they, there's not any time to be dicking around and doing stuff that is not good. And I
Yeah,
kind of
that year
subscribe to
that
that.
I would do that.
I
I
think it works.
seen it works. I seen it work. Yeah, I would do the same thing. My sister does it. My sister-in-law does it. Like everyone my age who has kids are like, keep these motherfuckers busy.
Yeah, I don't even
They're
know
like run
what
them
the alternative
wild.
is.
Yeah. Medicine. I think that's the alternative, right? Like when
Yeah, I
people
guess so.
stopped letting their kids outside and putting them in activities, and then they were just sitting there shaking and shit like rescue dogs. They were like,
Hmm.
something's wrong. Like, what do we do? Oh, he needs some medicine. They started putting him on behavioral meds and shit.
Medicine and an orange vest and
Yep.
special form to get them on the airplane,
Yep.
like a little dog.
What's your worst birthday party? Do you
My
remember?
worst birthday party, man,
Yeah.
I don't even know. We didn't even have that many birthday parties as like it was never we're not big celebration people. We did this stuff, but it was just like, okay, you know what I mean? Everything's fine all the
God
time.
damn. So I'll give you my
My
verdict
worst
then.
birthday party,
I was like, shit.
worst.
Give me your
Gosh, I don't
worst.
even know. Worst birthday party.
So
None of them
give
were
me.
so bad that they're burned into my mind. But
Yeah,
now
there
I
was.
think about it, I don't think I can remember any birthday party I had, and I'm sure that I did. And
Yeah.
that's the saddest part. And I think that's the real crux of like growing up where everything's fine is that I can't even remember half of it because none of it rang as special. Because everything was met with like, oh, let's not get crazy here.
God damn, man.
Man, I
So
know. I can remember going to other kids' houses and getting like the goodie bags and all that kind of stuff. We never really did that. We would host people at the house.
yo,
I'm
so
sure I had a birthday party at like you know what? I don't know if this is youngest child thing or what, but I can't think of a time that anybody celebrated me.
damn, no, usually the youngest kid gets celebrated and gets away and shit, but not your parents.
I
They
don't
like,
know,
look,
man.
figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know. I really can't think of one. This might be we're tapping into something and we're finding out here. You know
Yeah.
what it was? So with my sister being adopted when I was 10 and she's 11, my brother's 12. My brother's off to high school first. She's
Mm-hmm.
demanding of a lot of attention. I kind of fell through the cracks a little bit and needed to find
Mm.
my way to get attention. And that was comedy, that was screwing around, that was like getting in a little bit of trouble, that was like all that. And I think it's related to that. Like people say it's like there's like a middle child syndrome. I think I have
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of that because the eyes weren't on me because I wasn't
Yeah.
the first and I wasn't the one that was new to the family that needed to have special attention and
Yeah.
everything like that.
Now, was there some jealousy between you and your adopted sister because you weren't getting the attention from your family, or were you always cool
No,
about it? Did your family?
I
Go
think
ahead.
that my brother and I were unfortunately a little bit recruited to like be responsible and sort of be um, responsible figures around the house. I wouldn't say like co-parents or whatever else, but I don't think that we were even like allowed really like it wasn't really an option to feel even jealous of that situation
Mm.
of her coming into the house. It was like, well, you guys are you be good kids because we have to show Jessica um, how we operate as a family. So you're role
Mm.
models or whatever.
And how did you take on that task? Were you like, fuck yeah, I can't wait? Or were you like, come on now?
Well, I mean, I made jokes. I cracked jokes, and I just tried to keep
Yeah.
everybody happy because if we're happy, then we can't fight.
Ooh,
And you are unhappy because you're still alive after that.
I'm
Come
still
on.
alive. But you won that one. Good for you.
Yes, I did. I'm a big wrestling
So
guy.
wait, run that by me one more time. You said you didn't really even have a time to process it.
Right, because I was trying to keep everybody happy so we don't fight. And
But what do you mean so you don't fight? Was there fighting going on?
yeah, there was fighting. There was tension. There was like, how does this work? We're not happy here. The rules were different for her. Oh no. Oh no. What in the world?
Were the rules different because she was a girl, or were the rules different
She was
because
a
she was
girl.
adopted?
She was wasn't directly related to, but I think it was like that she had like she would just screw up in different ways than they were accustomed to, and so I think my parents had a little harder time with her, and she needed
Mm-hmm.
to find out. Not 11 years old as a girl, new school, new family,
Yeah.
trying to figure out who you are in life, trying to figure out all this kind of stuff. It's like it wasn't. I don't think she was met with enough compassion on all of the
Mm-hmm.
stress, and it was like, okay, you're here now, be better,
Yeah.
and that's like it's tough. That's tough.
Yeah. All right, man. If your family had a sitcom, what network would it be on?
Oh, my family had a sitcom. What network would it be on? I think it would be on like it'd be in the '90s, okay? Because it's gonna
Yeah.
be you got to get away from that. It'd be like Roseanne, it'd be like
Mm.
ABC, but like back when you could, you know, turn the needles a little bit.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That was is so. But that's what your household was like. Like they would still like poke and like really like express themselves if you had something to say. Like Roseanne's house was like that. Like if I'm looking at Roseanne's house, they were like no one really held no punches. They
Can you
said
hear me?
exactly how did they feel. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, mine froze for a second. But is
Oh
that so? What was my household like?
yeah, pretty much. Was that did Roseanne kind of represent your household, or you're saying like just the ability to like what Roseanne was to that network, where that network to show like a real American family.
Yeah, it's a real American family. I don't think that
Okay.
Roseanne specifically is the right dynamic because they were like much trashier than I think that we would probably describe
Yeah.
ourselves as. But that was like
Okay.
the gimmick, you know.
Yeah.
Um, uh, so like our house was a military house. Like my dad's military house, like everything's straight and neat and nice, and it's not
Yeah.
like Roseanne in that way. But it is. It was like raw Americana. Like okay, this goes here, this goes here, and like we'll go out for ice cream, but we got to be back by this time. Like
Mm,
everything was always hedged, always met within a rule.
damn. Yo, so if I had to give my opinion, I would put
Judge
you.
LaRoe.
I would make you public property just so you can get a hug and get remembered, like your birthdays would be remembered and shit. You know what I mean? Like at least they had to remember my birthday. Shit, it's on the paper. It's
Yeah.
on the goddamn application. So they're like, shit, all right. You know?
All right, I'll take it. Listen, this is the way I get to finally get a goodie bag. Let's go.
Yo, and I got so many goodie bags. I'm like, damn. I'm like, all right,
You
I'm
got those
listening
little
to you.
hands that slap against the window.
Yo, you didn't get a
Get all the
slime
dog hair.
hand?
I had a couple slime hands in my life, but never enough, you know?
Damn. All right, yo. Like I'm trying to think. I had maybe like one or two parties where my guests got to walk away with gift bags, but at least there was still like I don't like celebrating my birthday now, but at least somebody was like, "Here's a cake." You know what I mean? Like here
Yeah.
you go. Like it was never
Yeah, I think
celebrated, but every once in a while somebody would
man,
be
you
like,
really threw
"Yo,
me for a loop. I'm like, I really don't know if I had birthday parties. And I'm
yo."
like, damn.
It depends on who I live with if I had a birthday party. Some people give a shit. They're like, I don't give a fuck about this nigga birthday.
Well, if
And then
you live
some
with
people
my
be like,
parents,
hey,
you probably weren't going to get one.
I wasn't going to get shit. I was going to get
We're
a
too
pat on the
busy.
back. Yo.
Make your bed, and then I'll give you a pat on the back.
Yo. But you don't raise your son like that. You're in New York.
No.
Yeah.
My wife is big time festivities and big time like dates matter. My parents still
Yeah.
today will be like, it's the 17th. We'll do Christmas on the 17th.
I mean, I don't
It's
see what's
not
wrong with that though. What's wrong with
that.
that?
My point is the pageantry, the
Yeah.
tradition,
Yeah.
the moments. She does those right, and so we got big time. My little boy's second birthday is going to be in October, and so we're gonna
Yeah.
figure out how are we going to do this big. So I'll let you know.
Mm.
You can come over and play
Yo,
this little Tykes basketball with us.
I may have to. Nope, I still got to stick by my verdict. Like I understand your parents, just with the
They're good
pageantry
parents.
shit. They're
I'll
good
take you. You
parents.
want to take them
They're
away?
just
Sure.
like, look, we want to instill good morals and make you a good person and show you what life is about. And life is about a system and having your own fucking system and just making sure you take care of your shit. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I'm sorry that they didn't hug you in the process of that shit. You know what I mean? And celebrate you. But I feel like those are good morals to pass down to a kid. And the fact that you worked your whole life and you knew what to work for and you knew how to go about it, I'm like,
Yeah,
like
I
your
mean, they
parents were
could have
good to
definitely
you,
gone.
man.
They could have definitely done worse. I think.
Yeah. So
So
I'm
I
still
don't
saying you're
resent them.
public property just so you can get a gift bag, though. I'm not changing
Thank
my
you. I
verdict. Maybe the
appreciate it. I'll take
audience.
the gift bag. I want
All
that
right,
goodie bag so bad.
dude. Ryan, thank you so much for taking the time out to do this podcast, man. Let these
Yes,
people
sir.
know where they can find you, where they can see all your materials, your stand-up
Yeah,
specials, your movies, your shorts, all of that shit.
you got to follow me on Instagram at I am Ryan Beck. That's the one I use. I'm off Twitter, Facebook. I don't really use that. Instagram's where I'm at. I don't know where you're at, Monroe, but I go at I am Ryan Beck on Instagram. I'm
Mm-hmm.
starting to get my YouTube up. I got the YouTube comedy special out there with 800-pound gorilla. I've got my Comedy Central clips out there. Tons of Comedy Central videos on their YouTube. And that's it. But the movie, I'm gonna have the movie come out in the fall, so follow me. And by the time when this comes out and everything, it'll be a few months after that. So, yeah, I'm gonna put out the movie and work on the next one. So,
Dude, that's dope, man. Congratulations. Keep it up. Make sure you check out all of this dude's stuff. He's great at what he does. And comics need to have their own shit popping. That's what I like. I like seeing people get it from the mud, create their own shit, and put it out. And make sure you support that so more comics would do it and more comics would be independently rich out this bitch.
let's do it.